Hey guys, today we have a new cycle for Last Epoch launching, and in this video they did the patch overview, so I wanna watch the video with you guys so we know everything that is coming for the new cycle for Last Epoch. A cycle is a season. In Last Epoch they call the seasons cycles. So I am excited. Last Epoch is a really cool game. This season is focused on bossing. I guess they are going to get deeper into that in this video, so let's take a look so we can all start the season knowing what is happening. Okay, cool intro.
Greetings, travelers. I'm Judd Kobler, game director for Last Epoch, and I'm thrilled to announce that Last Epoch's first post-launch cycle, Harbingers of Ruin, Cycle 1.1, is just around the corner.
Okay, so for them this is basically the first cycle, because for me it was the second cycle because the first one was the launch, but for them the launch was not an actual cycle and this is the first cycle. Okay, cool.
Arriving on July 9th. We're very excited to share all of the awesome new content that we've been working on. Let's dive in for a sneak peek at everything coming your way. In Cycle 1.1, you'll be facing off against our newest pinnacle boss, Aberoth, the Herald of Oblivion, and his Legion of Harbingers. Aberoth is a fearsome foe who has selected his strongest legionnaires to hunt down Atera's champions and give them a choice.
Every time something is focused on bossing, I am happy. I am really happy. You know what? One of my favorite games of all times is Cuphead, because that game revolves around bossing, just bossing. And that is why I want to get into the Souls series, or the From Software games, the Souls-likes, because I haven't played those games, and apparently they are based on bossing, and I love bossing, brother. And now that here in Last Epoch they say they are going to focus on bossing, now I am a happy man, brother. This is cool.
Either join his side and dedicate themselves to Orbis, or perish. While exploring and fighting your way through Atera, you will frequently encounter these fallen warriors that have been defeated by the Harbingers and tainted by corruption, waiting patiently to exact a revenge on other travelers. When interacting with these remains, choices will be given to acquire their previously equipped items, but the vengeful void will cause the remains to animate and attack. This forms the Nemesis system, whereby clicking on a nemesis, which appears as swirling pieces of armor above a slain warrior, brings up a menu where you can see 4 items that are obtainable. You're given 3 options. 1, you can banish the nemesis entirely, so the next one you encounter has brand new items. 2, you can challenge the nemesis, causing the equipment to coalesce into a powerful foe that drops its displayed items when slain. Or 3, you can empower the nemesis. This will result in it challenging you, but escaping if you were able to defeat it. The next time you find a nemesis event, it will be more challenging, but the displayed items will have been carried over and upgraded in various ways. This can be done a maximum of 2 times. Empowering a nemesis can upgrade its items in many ways that are impossible through the normal crafting system.
People are going to empower the bosses, it is my prediction. Unless he gives you an option in the 4 items that you need it. It is so incredibly better for your build right now, and it is going to accelerate your leveling greatly. Unless that is happening, if it is only a marginal upgrade or you don't really need it, you can keep going as you are, people are going to empower it, because the upgrade is going to be amazing, and when you actually kill it after the 3 empowers or the 2 empowers, it is going to be better for you, brother. That is the truth.
It can add sealed affixes up to tier 7, raise forging potential above its normal maximum, and turn rare items into exalted ones. It can
And this is a plus, even that, like when you think that you are going to get something that you can't get from a normal drop, you are always empowering these dudes.
Also upgrade unique items, adding legendary potential to them, or turn them directly into legendaries with random affixes. At higher levels, Nemesis can spawn a special unique, the Egg of the Forgotten, which can be replaced by one of your own uniques as long as it has no legendary potential or Weaver's Will, allowing you to empower that unique with the system. To stop the threat of the Harbinger,
that is a cool way of getting one item that you already like, that you already farm or targeted, and now you can give the new properties that are only available through the challenging this dude, the Nemesis. That is a cool idea, so you don't have to depend on luck to get the item in there. You can get the item your normal way, and then you empower it in there. Oh, cool. That is cool. Good idea, brother. Good idea.
You'll need to work with the Forgotten Knight to devise a plan to take out their leader, Aberoth, last Epoch's brand new pinnacle boss, and the source of their power. You'll need to progress through the new in-game faction, the Forgotten Knights, to gain access to Aberoth himself, but only the strongest will have a chance of taking him down, gathering his spoils, and ending the Harbinger threat. The journey begins after completing the final level 90 non-empowered timeline and surviving a Harbinger's ambush for the first time. Harbingers will begin ambushing you when you defeat a timeline boss, extending the fight where they will use their abilities in combination with abilities of the previously defeated boss. If you're able to defeat the first Harbinger, you will take his eye to the Forgotten Knight, Orinthia, and be invited to join the Forgotten Knights faction, which tracks your Harbinger's specific progress. You'll need to lure out increasingly powerful Harbingers across the empowered timelines through the Monolith of Fate. Once 10 different Harbingers are vanquished, you can spend a Harbinger Eye you've collected to enter the place where travelers are corrupted into Harbingers.
Bro, the whole system seems really cool, and it revolves around bossing, and we already established that that is cool. So I am loving the system, but all of this is going to... What is going to make or break this is if the bosses are good or not. Because if the bosses suck, then what is the point, right? It doesn't matter if the whole system is cool if doing the bosses sucks. But I really hope the bosses are good, because if the bosses are good, then the whole thing is genius, right? The whole thing is cool. We need the bosses to be good. Not every single boss has to be great, but if there are a couple that are great, there are a couple that are good, and the other ones are bad, it doesn't matter. If at least half of them are good and there are some that are great, then we are awesome. We are Gucci. And of course, the pinnacle one, the last one, has to be awesome.
The Altar of Oblivion. This is where you will challenge the pinnacle boss, Aberoth. To help tackle these challenging new threats, and because we've tested it and it's just way fun to use, we're introducing a new evade or dodge roll.
Good idea.
While evade doesn't offer immunity frames or serve as a traversal skill, it's a crucial part of your survival toolkit, with 2 charges available from level 1. Unlike other skills, evade isn't swappable and lacks a skill tree, but its cooldown recovery speed increases as your character levels up.
Good idea.
Furthermore,
good idea.
evade can be enhanced by various affixes and even unique items that dramatically modify its functionality. Having evade will allow us to design...
Hey, what is that crab? I didn't know that this ability existed. I wanna have a crab summon, brother. What build is this? Tell me, I wanna play the crab.
boss fights, knowing that all players have a way to traverse out of harm's way quickly without having to choose to take a more powerful traversal ability on their action bar.
And Meteorites, that dude was playing Meteorites.
Extensive balance updates of any patch ever, unlocking many exciting new build opportunities. We've updated skills, passives, and mechanics and can't wait to see what builds emerge as a result. For example, mana now regenerates while channeling on most channeled abilities, making skills like Warpath and Disintegrate awesome to build around. The Mage's Disintegrate skill tree has been updated and can now gain multiple stages of destruction. Minions are now tankier. The Sentinel's Shield Bash ability has received extensive updates. The Spellblade Mastery now has...
Good, because I remember that I tried to play Shield Bash and it was clunky and I hated it. I liked it in concept, but in practice it sucked. To me.
more access to Critical Strike. The Sorcerer has even more incentive to build high mana. Shaman and Forge Guard have received extensive updates to be more powerful and interesting.
Nice.
The Primalist
Cool.
Avalanche ability is no longer a channeled skill by default and can do things like proc Earthquake and Upheaval. And the Rogue's
Nice.
multi-shot has been buffed when
You guys know that this is my favorite class, right? The Primalist. It is obvious.
used directly, alongside much more. See the patch notes for a full list of updates. And of course, with new and challenging content and massive balance updates, we're introducing a large swath of awesome new uniques to hunt. For example, the Nihilus Amulet, last Epoch's first ever unique to have negative to positive roll ranges. This large variance means that finding a well-rolled one will result in you obtaining a very powerful item. The Nihilus Amulet is extremely versatile and can be used in many builds. Meet the Monument of Protection. This Sentinel shield counts as a one-handed axe and can be equipped with another shield, adding significant offense to shield-based
That
skills
is so
and strong
cool,
additional
brother.
defenses.
And it looks cool. It looks cool, and it is a cool idea. I am mad at myself because I didn't think about that before. Like an axe that, a shield that counts as a weapon. Oh, that is so cool, my dude.
And the new Black Blade of Chaos. This powerful in-game two-hander changes the Blade Dancer's Lethal Mirage into a skill that can be used much more frequently, providing a potent and engaging new playstyle. There are 30 uniques coming with patch 1.1, so happy hunting.
Nice.
Let's talk about some of the existing system changes coming with patch 1.1. First off, we've added 2 new ranks to both Circle of Fortune and Merchant's Guild factions, and reduced the time it takes to reach the highest ranks. We've also revised their rank rewards, and there's now smoother progression in the items to access with Merchant's Guild, and we provided Circle of Fortune with ranks to receive more boss loot, experimental item affixes, and the final rank now completes the prophecy twice instead of just duplicating the reward itself. We're also working.
I go for the Circle of Fortune because I don't like trading. It is annoying to do. I just go for the. I wanna do my thing.
Towards improving the Merchant's Guild Bazaar search feature and plan to release those updates during the 1.1 patch as soon as possible. We're excited to announce that we're adding level ladders alongside arena ladders, which can be accessed both in-game and on the...
This is good for the people that race. I don't race. I go on my own at my own reading. But for the people that like the race, this is awesome, right? Because they wanna... If you get to 100 first, it is going to say in here that you were the dude, right? And at least being in the top 10 has to be cool, right? I was one of the first 10 dudes that reached level 100. So a lot of people are going to race to be in this leaderboard. I like more the arena leaderboard, by the way. I think it is cooler because it doesn't matter the speed of which you level, but how strong you are.
The official Last Epoch website this patch. We're also adding timestamps on the arena ladder entries so that players are able to tell when an entry on the leaderboard was made. We've replaced boss dynamic damage reduction with a new boss ward system, which solves a number of issues. This new system clearly represents boss's true health, makes health leech reliable, ensures players' damage output meets expectations, and there's no longer downsides to higher DPS builds. We have a few changes coming to the Monolith of Fate. First, Echoes now more consistently contain swarming and rare enemies to ensure that they're sufficiently populated and rewarding. We've heard your feedback that progressing through non-empowered timelines on alts is too time-consuming. In 1.1, you will be able to find the new Glyph of Envy, which siphons stability from your items to add to your timelines. The stability granted to uncompleted, non-empowered timelines is very high, allowing you to quickly progress through the unempowered monolith on alt characters. We've also made some changes to the Gaze of Orbis mechanic found in empowered...
Yeah, because this is a game that you want to have alts, because there are so many builds, there are so many things to try out that you want to make an alt to try a different cool build that you saw a streamer doing or something crazy that you imagine. It doesn't matter. But then you realize that doing all the stuff again with an alt is not so great. So they are introducing this to solve that problem, which again is a good idea.
Monoliths, which previously could be overly punishing. Not only were there diminishing returns at higher amounts of gaze, you also lost all of it if you died to a Shade of Orbis. In 1.1, every stack of Gaze of Orbis always gives 12 corruption, but you can only use 4 at once, the rest carrying over to your next Echo Web. Additionally, when you die to a Shade of Orbis, you now only lose a single stack. Also, in parties, everyone who has enough stability to get blessing and boss-specific rewards is also given 1 Gaze of Orbis, making it easier for multiple people to progress corruption together in a party. Next,
I hope that doesn't turn into the degeneracy that we see in Diablo 4 with the uber unique farming in Durel and that stuff, that it is better to be in a party than to be alone, and the game encourages the party play. Because I don't want to make a party, I want to play by myself, unless I am doing raid content that requires a party, and everybody has to do it in a party that is completely different. But now this is content that I'm supposed to do by myself, but it is better if I do in a party. It sucks, I don't want to do it. So I hope the advantage you get for being in a party is not that big, because encouraging people to do the party, in my opinion, it sucks. And the degeneracy we see in D4 is one of the things that I want them to fix, because basically if you want to farm for a Uber Unique or the Resplendence and the Sparks to craft your own Uber Unique, you have to farm in a group, and that is stupid.
Let's dive into the massive amount of quality of life additions that we have been working on with our community that you can expect to see in both Cycle and Legacy with the launch of Cycle 1.1, Harbingers of Ruin. In 1.1, all blessings that your character finds and can select from are stored and can be changed out at a vendor for a gold cost. Additionally, all characters that share a stash together have the option to equip a minimum value of all found blessings, as long as they have conquered the timeline it is found from. You can even access grand blessings normally found in empowered timelines by just conquering the normal version of the timeline. You can now search timeline echoes with text or via icon. We've made some good improvements to the loot filter. For example,
people
you can
like
now
the loot filter
for legendary potential and Weaver's Will. Selecting multiple ethics conditions is now.
I'll be honest, I just downloaded. I don't do this. It is too, and I know that last Epoch did a good job of making it easy to do a loot filter, but it is annoying. There is no way in hell I spend time doing this. I just go to Maxroll or to an streamer that is doing something akin to what I want, and I download it. Or I don't use a loot filter at all, and I just see the items. I do the only, I do it myself, the one where you say don't show me white or blue items and only show me rare and legendary and exalted items and uniques, and then I go from there. Or I download a filter, but there is no way I do all the conditionals. Oh no, I don't have time for that, brother.
Supported in the user interface. For example, you can
but
have
it is
one
good that they
condition
improve
to
it, because
only
now I
show
can
boots
download
with
a
an
better
exalted
one.
movement speed prefix, and a second condition to only show those boots if they also have another prefix from a separate selected list. And loot filter rules now have numbers, and we've added an option to show those rule numbers in brackets next to items on the ground to show which loot filter rule is applying to the item. Great for troubleshooting your filter and deepening your understanding of how the loot filter works. We have added 2 different variations of always displaying your endurance threshold on your health bar that can be changed in the gameplay settings. We're thrilled to be bringing you all of this and much more, like visual updates, client performance improvements, tons of bug fixes, network gameplay improvements, and plenty others with our first major post-launch patch. Check out the patch notes for full details, and we'll see you in Last Epoch Patch 1.1, Harbingers of Ruin on July 9th.
Brother, I have to say that I am pretty happy so far with this. The changes they are saying in here, all of them are really cool to the base game. The thing that will make or break the cycle will be if those bosses are good bosses. But from a general standpoint, before we see the bosses, I am feeling good about this, because Last Epoch was already a great game in terms of characters, of build variety, of being a cool ARPG. Of replayability, of alts or whatever, because you can try many different builds. Maybe not going until the ultra late game, because that is something that I was feeling in the first season or in the launch of Last Epoch. Like I was having a blast, and that happens in Diablo 4 too, by the way, or it used to happen. That I was having a blast the first levels, like trying to make my build or whatever, but once I reach a certain point that I can play my build, the game gets repetitive and you get kind of bored. That is the truth. The game is awesome, but that is my experience. Once I reach certain level, I kind of didn't want to continue going. So I hope that having these bosses solves that. And to do with the bosses have to be great. But again, the base game was awesome, and I am agreeing with the things that I am seeing here. So I think everything will be fine. And it will happen the same thing that happened with PoE and the same thing that is happening with D4, and it is the compound effect. Every season gets something cooler and better into the game, and then when you have several seasons, you see, brother, the game has really improved. It has a ton of things, and this is awesome. So yes, I am excited. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Are you going to play it? You are not going to play it? You like it? You don't like it? Let me know everything in the comments below. You know that I love reading comments, my dude. Remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Help me out, my brother. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.